Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As promised, this is part 2 on how to get Austrian citizenship. Last week I talked about if I have my citizenship or not, and I don't have. So this week I'm talking about how to get your Austrian citizenship. And my research or details are based upon only for third world countries, for EU countries and other, let's say the Britain or non-EU countries. I don't know, but for us third world countries, I'm talking about us. So don't mind my hair. I'm in the process of taking my hair down, so it's just a mess, a mess, a mess. So back to today's topic. So the first one is of course through natural natural naturalization, and this means if you've been in Austria continuously for 10 years or are holding residence permit of at least 5 years. And in this is the category where I fall into. So I'm almost at 10 years in Austria and already have a 5-year residence permit. So this is the category where I fall into. So and yeah, and then there's the integration. Integration just means that you have a secure livelihood. For me, I have because of my husband. And then if you have a good language proficiency, at least a B2 if I'm not wrong. And then what else? And you also need a good conduct. You should not have any criminal record by the police, and yeah, you should have also a good conduct. So that's under naturalization. So which is where I fall into. And then for dual citizenship, as I said, Kenya or rather Austria does not allow dual citizenship. So in my case, that falls out the door, unfortunately. So and then there's expedited naturalization. So the normal naturalizations where I fall into must have at least 5 years residence permit or durchgehend. We've lived in Austria for over 10 years, for 10 years straight without going to another country and then staying there, then coming back again. So, and then there's this expedited naturalization. This is actually for those people who need azul, protection, state protection, or for refugees. So those that is what is called the expedited naturalization. So they can also apply for citizenship after 10 years or before 10 years, but as minimum you're supposed to have stayed in Austria for 6 years, and then maximum you're supposed to have stayed in Austria for 10 years. And as the previous one, you should have at least a good German language, and you should also have a good conduct. That means also no criminal record. And then there's this other one called early naturalizations. So this yeah, also it's the naturalization, all of them are just based on the same. Then also have to be um but this the early naturalization is a bit different. The You're just supposed to have stayed in Austria for at least 6 years, and you or you have to have what it says here, you have to have made a significant contribution to Austria to be eligible to have an early naturalization, whatever that means. I don't know. And also you have to be have lived in Austria for durchgehend 6 years. So that is not that's the only uh, limit, 6 years through and through. That means you in the 6 years you should not have gone to another country and stayed there for, let's say, 1 year and then come back. So it has to be through and through. So I think this was maybe nurses or those who work in the Altersheim, nyumba ya wazee, or if you work at a hospital, or I think that's what they mean by you have to have contributed a little bit to the to Austria. Yeah, a significant contribution to Austria. So I think if you work in the Altersheim, or if you're a doctor or a nurse, so those you are eligible for early naturalization. But as I've said, you need to have good German proficiency. I think this one is at least C1, between B2 and C1, if I'm not sure. I really hope you can see me, that my head is not cut off and my kids are coming. Oh boy, they've had me talking now, they're coming. Yeah, let's continue real quick. So, and so number two is the citizenship by descent. They're still playing. Citizenship by descent, which means Austrian citizenship is primarily based on the descent, meaning a child, my kids, can acquire citizenship if at least one of the parents, my husband, is an Austrian citizen. So by birth, my kids are citizens by birth because my husband is an Austrian citizen. And I have to stop calling it hello. So I'm back. What is it? No. Stay there, I'm almost finished then. Hmm? Yeah, I don't know if it's sweet or not. You have to taste it. So, and we are back. Is it sweet?
Yeah.
Crunchy?
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy. So, as I was saying, number two is by citizenship by descent, as I said, through birth, like my kids, and then simplified conditions. In this case, yeah, only one parent, at least one parent, has to be an Austrian citizen, and these, in some cases, the paternity of the child has to be verified within 8 weeks of birth. So yeah, because paternity of birth, why I don't understand, but yeah, that's why as soon as you give birth here in Austria and one of the child's parents is Austrian, as soon as you give birth, they give you a paper to register. So you register and then yeah, then you get the birth certificate and stuff, and this means that yeah, your children get automatic and Austrian citizenship. Then there are also other pathways. So the other one, part three, point three, you have to be significant contributions. Way, yeah. Not to try, but only bought for. Hmm? Yeah, she's saying I should tell you that I'm talking to her now, and she's saying I'm saying something else, or rather, she's saying that the apple is sweet and yeah, juicy and fruity. So significant contributions, which means like an orange. So it says individuals who have made significant contributions to Austria in areas like economics, sports, science, or culture may be eligible for citizenship, even with a shorter residence period. Like you've seen, but in most cases it's between 5 and 10 years you're supposed to be in Austria. But if you've made significant what? Yeah, they can hear you. Yeah, when you're eating an apple, no, but when you talk, yes. So yeah, if you're sports, for example, if be nikimbilie Austria, but I already almost have a citizenship, but I just if maybe you come to Austria and then you run for the Austrian national team or you play for the Austrian national team, then you're eligible to getting an Austrian citizenship. And then also through under other pathways, also through investment. If Austria allows for citizenship through investment, which involves a capital contribution and government approval, you have to have minimum amount of contribution that you've been doing to the Austrian government. How much per se, I do not know, and I'm really sure it's expensive. But how much minimum you're supposed to have to contributed to the Austrian government, I do not know. But yeah, if you have a large amount of capital contributed to the Austrian government, you're also eligible to have an Austrian citizenship. Whew, English is taking me haywire in anipeleka segemnege. So, and then there's number four, important things to consider when applying or before you get your Austrian citizenship. Language. Language, I cannot insist enough. German language is really, really important if you need to come to Austria. So even if you're coming as au pair, even if you're coming to study, because there's some universities they offer classes, or there's some universities they teach in English, but as I've said, it's really important. Even if it's A1, at least you can communicate, you can hear, or rather you can understand what other people are saying, even if you come through this pathway. But still, Austria is important. As they say, when you go to Rome, do what Romans do. So language is really important. Try your best to learn the German language, especially if you want to get an Austrian citizenship. minimum, I think the least you can have is B1. But I think no, I'm pretty, by now, as I said, it's by B2, if I'm not wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's B2 by now, because by the time I was coming, it was B1. If I'm not wrong. It doesn't matter. Back to the topic today. So, language proficiency. Austrian citizenship application often requires proof of German language proficiency, of course. So, German language is important. There's no way you can go about it. If you want citizenship, you have to learn the language. And then legal advice. So, here it says, due to the complexities of Austrian citizenship law, seeking legal advice from a lawyer specializing in Austrian immigration is really recommended, which is really, really important. And make sure that the lawyer you're going to for advice is notarized lawyer, and not just somebody just because you want a favor from them that you go and ask them for a favor. Make sure it's somebody who knows about Austrian law. Make sure it's somebody who knows about Austrian citizenship, and make sure it's somebody who knows how to go about when it comes to questions on citizenship, be it by naturalization, be it by marriage, be it by contribution. Make sure it's somebody who knows Austrian law really, really well, because if in case anything happens, it's somebody that you can always go to for questions if you have any questions, or if you have any difficulties in one way or another. So make sure you get legal advice from a notarized lawyer who knows about the Austrian law. And then if you're in Kenya and if you need any question, if you have any question about the Austrian citizenship, it's better you go to them and contact them, or I don't think you can just go and walk in. You need an appointment, but either write an email or call. But to apply for Austrian citizenship, even if you're married, but you might be married and your spouse is in Kenya, or rather, umgekehrt, your spouse is in Austria and you're still in Kenya, that applying for citizenship is going to be really, really difficult. Excuse me. Because it won't work, because when you're applying, you won't have been in Austria yet, and that won't work. So before applying for Austrian citizenship, and I'm talking now to those who are in Kenya, carry all the necessary papers you're going to need. Your school papers, your uni papers, even if for you it deems unimportant, just beba makaratasi zako zote. For me, I carried all my documents, all my papers, and came with them here. But make sure they are notarized in Kenya by a certified lawyer, and then by the Foreign Affairs, and then by the embassy, and then you come here. But when you come here, I've said 5 years. But for me, I could have done it after 5 years, but I thought, that is just more complicated. I think it's more complicated than when you go through the 10 years, because once I go through the 10 years, then I'm going to get the permanent card, which doesn't have an expiry date. So point number 1, make sure you do your research really, really well. I've told you as much as I can, but I'm very sure this is not all the details that you're going to need to get, or rather to be eligible for an Austrian citizenship. So make Google your friend. Go Google as much as you can. Do your research. Oopsie, wait, ow. It's itchy. What is it? Sorry. Do your research, or let your spouse help you. If you want an Austrian citizenship but don't want to give up your original, or rather your citizenship you had from birth, so if you come to Austria, just know that is an X. Maybe in a few years to come, they're going to change the law, but something is hitching me. Mosquitoes are starting to come. But for Austrian citizenship, if you want it, you have to denounce your previous citizenship. And so I hope I've talked about the necessary points you're going to need. As I've said, make Google your friends, research as much as you can. And in case you have any questions about Austria or how to go about things, but for me, I'm specified, or rather, I can help you if you want to come as an au pair, or if you want to come through marriage. If you have any questions, regarding that. You can ask me anytime. I've left my Instagram on my description. There's my Instagram account. You can go and DM me or ask your questions in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to answer them. And I hope I've answered everything. I think that's it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed, we are almost at 500 subscribers. This year is our year. We are almost at 500 subscribers. I think at the moment when this vlog is going to go up, we're going to be at 500 I wish 400 and I think 460, yeah, 460 subscribers. By the time as I'm filming, we are at 460 subscribers. So guys, let's get to 500 subscribers by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. So we only need 40 subscribers. Talk to your friends, your family, your cousins, your nephews, your nieces. Tell them to come here. Tell them to watch from beginning to the end. If anybody has any question, let them ask. So guys, let's gather and subscribe and watch. We need the watch hours, and yeah, I really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let me stop doing my hands like this. Now I have to go tend to the kids. They're still coloring, so I'm going to let them color. Let me go keep myself busy, and I'll see you guys next week on a vlog as usual. So thank you so much, and be good, be nice, and be blessed. Bye.